Hello students, today let us learn how to access rows using head and tail function. We know that the data frame head function in Pandas by default shows the top 5 rows of data in the data frame. And opposite to the head function is tail function. That is the function which gives the last 5 rows of data in the data frame. We will create a data frame using dictionary. So here let me write a comments for you that this is a data frame using dictionary. A dictionary is inside the curly braces. Here we have our dictionary name D with 2 columns, that is months and days. The months is storing 12 months of the year and the days. We know that dictionary is in the form of key value pairs elements. So here we have the key months with different months. These are the values for the key months as well as for days. Days here is the key and these are the values for days. So in this line we are printing the dictionary, that means the original dictionary that we created just now. That is D. The name of dictionary is D. After that, we will convert that dictionary into data frame. So here we are using the data frame constructor for converting the dictionary to data frame. And our data frame name is DF. So in line number 14, you can see data frame, and inside that we are providing the name of the dictionary D, which means that D will be converted into data frame DF. And then we can print the dictionary now in the form of data frame. And to display the data frame, we are using the print function. Here we are passing DF, that means the data frame. So now the dictionary will be printing in the form of a data frame. After that, we want to print or display data frame with specified columns. So in our example, we have 2 columns, that is months and days. If you want to display in the required order, then you can use the columns as shown here in line number 19. So here instead of simply writing D, but after that we write columns. That means we specify the order that we want the columns to display. You out these. So now let us move ahead with the head and tail function in order to access the data frame. So here, this is the example for displaying 5 rows of data frame. So in our data frame, we have 12 elements. You remember the name of the months from January till December. So there are 12 elements. If you want to display only first 5, that means from January till May, then you can use the head function, because the head function will shows you the top 5 rows of data in the data frame. So here the months from January till May will be displayed if you use the head function without providing or without passing in a number as parameter. So remember, by default, Pandas head function will display the top 5 rows if you did not pass in a parameter in the head function. Now let me run this program and let us check the output. So here, this is the output of our program. First of all, you can see this is the line of codes that I write for printing or displaying the dictionary. That means the original dictionary in line number 8. So, and then you can see this line in the output here. Okay, after that we print the dictionary D. That means it will print in the form of a dictionary, not in the form of data frame. That means this dictionary. As you can see, there are curly braces which indicates that this is a dictionary. So in the output also you can see this is in the form of dictionary. Next, if you want to display in the form of data frame, now you can see here in the form of data frame there are indexes as well as elements. So in this line we are converting the dictionary into data frame. Now the output will not display like this anymore. That means not in the form of dictionary, but as you can see here it is displaying in the form of data frame. Next is to display or to print the data frame with specified columns. In our data frame, we have months and days. Suppose we want to print first the days, next the months, then we can do that as shown here in line number 19. Here you can see I am specifying columns. So the days first and then the months. And here in the output, you can see first are days, that means the number of days for the months. Next is to display the first 5 rows of the data frame. As shown here, we are using the head function because by default, head function display the first 5 rows of data frame. If we don't specify or if we don't pass any parameter, then by default it will display 5 rows. Now here in the output you can see we are displaying the first 5 rows of the data frame, that is from January till May. So the index are 0 till 4. The counting is from top to bottom, starting from 0 onwards. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That means there are 5 rows. Next, opposite to the head function is the tail function. Now let us try to learn the tail function, which displays by default the last 5 rows of our data frame. So in our data frame we have 12 months. If we want to display the last 5 rows, we can use the tail function. So the tail function will not count from the index 0, but it will count from the last 5 rows of the data frame. That means in our example, it will display from August. So August, September, October, November and December. Yes. So first or last 5 rows. In order to do that, we have to use the tail function, which is opposite to the head function. So now let me write this code here. So instead of head, we are writing the tail. So the tail function will display the last 5 rows. Now let us check the output. So here in our output, we can see that it is displaying the last 5 rows of the data frame. Here the months are August, September, October, November and December, and the index are 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. It shows that these are the last 5 rows of our data frame. So here now you can see both the months and the days are being displayed because both of these columns belong to dictionary D, which was converted into data frame DF. Now what if we don't want to display the first 5 rows, but we want to display, let's say, first 6 rows or first 3 rows or any number of rows? To do that, we need to pass a parameter inside the head function. So here instead of first 5 rows, we will try with other examples such as displaying of any number you can write. So for example here, instead of 5, I'll write 8. So displaying the first 8 rows of data frame. That means the first 8 months in our example. Now let us run this program. Here you can see that we are displaying the first 8 rows of our data frame from index 0 till 7. So here you can see indexing are from 0 till 7 because we are displaying the first 8 rows that are from the months January till August. Now let us try to display the first row of the data frame. You know that the index for the first row is 0. But here we are not passing the index. We are passing the position of the elements. So in order to access the first row of our data frame, we simply write 1 inside the head function. Now here in the output, you can see it is displaying only January because January is the first month of the year and it is the first element in our data frame. Now let us try to explore more about the tail function. We know that the tail function by default displays the last 5 rows of the data frame. But what if we don't want to display the last 5 rows, but we want to access only few rows, such as 3 rows or 1 row, or more than 5 rows, such as 8 rows. So in order to do that, you need to pass a parameter inside the tail function. So here we are passing 8 because we want to display the last 8 rows. So we are accessing 8 rows of the data frame from the bottom. That's why we are using the tail function. Now let's check in the output. Now here you can see in the output we are displaying the last 8 rows of the data frame. So we access the rows using the tail function. As you can see here, it is displaying from index 4 till 11, which are the last 8 rows of our data frame, and the months are from May till December. Now let us try to access the last row of our data frame. You might think that in order to access the last row, we can pass the parameter as 11 or 12, right? Because 11 is the last index of our data frame and 12 is the last position of our data frame. But both are wrong. In order to access the last row, we have to start counting with 1 from bottom. So counting from bottom top. For tail function, we are counting from the bottom to top. So now in the output, it will display DEC, which means December, because December is the last element of our data frame. So here you can see the output, it is displaying only the last month of the year, which is December, and the number of days is 31. Here the index is 11 because 11 is the last index for our data frame. My dear students, I hope that is clear. So this is all about head and tail function. And if you want to access the rows from a data frame, you can use the head and tail function as per the requirements. So I'll stop here for now and we shall meet again in the next video with the next topic.